All right, good evening. We are live here down here in Jacksonville, Florida. This is Andre Sanders, and with my business partner Neil from the UK, minus a couple other ones. I'm sorry, but they should be on their way. So expect a pattern interrupt for those that don't know what that is here in the next half hour from where we're speaking to from one of our other business partners out in California. Just so you get an idea, I'm naming all these places though. We're worldwide. That's how we can do this business. But without any further ado, as I already mentioned, and introduced him to a good friend of mine as well for about almost a year now within this business that we're doing. Go ahead, Neil.
Okay, Andre, thank you for that. And yeah, my name is Neil Henson, and I'm currently residing in the UK. So presently, at the moment, it is 10 past 11 at night for me. But like you say, we're a worldwide business, and the best thing about the internet is it's 24 hours a day. So regardless of whether I decide to do this at 11 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, or 11 o'clock at night, that's what I love about the internet, because it's available whenever we need it. So this is one of the reasons why I love actually working on the internet, because it's just freedom, to be honest. Do whenever you want, and it fits with all four of us, sorry, because we're on 3 different time zones. So me and there's two people missing. So there's me and there's Ian. We reside in the UK. We're on I think it's Mountain Standard Time, and then Andre's on Eastern Standard Time. If I'm not mistaken, Patricia's on Peak Standard Time, or Pacific Standard Time, sorry. So we're on 3 separate time zones, but yet because of the availability of the internet, we're able to get on a convenient time that works for all of us. And that's what you got to love about the internet.
Also, let us know below in the comments what part of the world you are tuning into as well. And let's just get straight to the point, because you're probably wondering, okay, what's this all about? Celebrating small wins. Well, as we just mentioned, as building a business online, offline, or even if you're just a business owner, we tend to beat ourselves up. Just being real, just being real with us. Like for example, I play semi-pro football here in Jacksonville, Florida. Been doing it for several years. So the competitor inside of me is always going to be want to just better myself, up your game, and per se. So it's the same thing about business. Some people that begin in business and they were pretty much probably expected this. Hopefully not, because you have that business owner mindset. Someone will expect to have, maybe a dream of making $100,000 the next day as soon as they start the business. Now, again, we're going to be talking about income, so look at our income disclosure statement below, because results are not typical. You do have to earn them too, and they do vary depending on the person, but they are possible. Something like such as that, I'm not going to guarantee you that, but I'm just giving you an example. The fact is too, as far as, yes, you can see some results, and we should celebrate the small wins. I'll never forget watching the Jim Rome video, and he said once you hit certain goals, you should celebrate it. Because now think about it, you should celebrate. Your mind's almost like, yes, okay, I did this. What other thing can I do next? It's almost about, okay, what can I do next? People get the wrong mind frame when you see maybe an entrepreneur, a multimillionaire, or multi-billionaire, as far as, oh man, all they do is make money. All they do is, or if they have an idea and they let it out to the public, people might think automatically, oh, all they want to do is get money. No, it's a challenge to make themselves better. Another example, I love reading Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad series of books. And he always mentioned that his rich dad said, hey, you got to be bigger than your problems. Because once you be bigger than your problems, you can find out the solutions too. And you're doing what? You're growing from them. And then it's a small win too, because now you're learning. You're still learning. You're still progressing. Yes, you're going to have setbacks. It always happens in anything you do. You always have setbacks. But you're growing, you're still growing, and you're learning too. That's the key thing too. So that's another thing too. It's kind of like reverse psychology in a sense. You're kind of like, okay, I got this. Or as we mentioned later on too in this hangout, I was like, okay, I got my first lead. Okay, I can do this. Or hey, I got my first comment, because we have a blogging platform, which we'll mention later on too. And it's again, those are the small wins. You're like, yes, all right, I can do this. It's a positive reinforcement to yourself. That's my point. As far as, okay, celebrating small wins, not celebrating like taking a whole week off or something like that, but still knowing in the back of your mind, okay, I can do this. What more can I do? So that's just this is some examples I wanted to bring up here down the road. Well, I mean, not down the road, down later on, we're going to be talking about, and Neil will go over some of his as well too.
Yeah, definitely. It's funny you should mention about the small wins about getting traffic to your website and leads and things like that, because when I first got started and I heard that very phrase, it's like celebrate your small wins, and I'm just like, but I haven't got any small wins because all I'm doing is getting traffic to my site and I'm leads. I'm not making any money, so I've not made any small. And I automatically assumed that it was small wins means like your first sale. And I didn't realize that it was that there are so many people that actually just struggle just getting traffic to their website. So that in itself is a win. And you just think that like a couple of people to your first 10 people to your website, or maybe your first 10 leads online, or your first sale that you make online, these are significant breakthroughs that you're having, because when you first start out, it's like you get your website set up, maybe you just set up a static one-page blog. That's what I did when I first started out. But for me, when I first saw it, I thought it was the greatest thing ever, because it was just like, it's the first blog I've ever had. It looked very nice. And I was ready to go, and I was pumped, because it's just once is your next step. So it's just celebrating that first thing. So to you, maybe yours is generating traffic. Let us know if any of these are your problems, and particularly what specifically you're struggling with. So maybe it's leads, maybe it's you don't know how to set up a website, or maybe it's leads, traffic. It could be any of that. But maybe there's specific things. I mean, when it comes to websites, we can't help you set up a website because we're not that technically minded, but we can give you a few resources and point you in the right direction. But when it comes to leads and when it comes to traffic, these are the things that we can actually help you out with. Because I remember when I actually placed one of my first actual paid advertisements, and this is another thing as well. I think one of our mentors, Mike, actually mentioned it. It's like he went out, he actually spent a significant amount of money, but mine was on a smaller scale. So I think I spent about $50 on what we call a solo ad. And a solo ad is basically, just in a brief summary, is me paying someone who's got an email database, and I'm paying them to send my advertisement out to their email list. So if they got 2,000 people, maybe they'll agree to send that out to that many people, but say get me 100 clicks to my specific website, and I agree to pay them for like $50. So I pay $50, and then I get, I don't know, 30 or 40 people to my website. Now, because I got 30 to 40 visitors to my website, then I got clicks and I got leads. But because I didn't make any sales, to me, I was like, well, this is no good. I didn't see it as an actual win, and I didn't realize it for what it actually is. And Mike actually spelled it out, and he actually made so much more sense when I heard it. And that's because you're not necessarily ultimately we're looking for the sale. That is the end goal. But just because you haven't made a sale, that doesn't mean to say that advertisement in itself is no good, because you've generated a certain amount of leads coming through, and that is a goal. That is a success in itself, because that is more people who are interested in your product, who you can then have a conversation with, build a relationship with, and eventually start bringing them into your business. But it takes work. You can't expect, and this is what when I first got started, this is what I was expecting. I was kind of thinking that I should be paying for advertisement, and that advertisement is going to equate to sales. And that used to be the method a long time ago. But things change now. People don't just buy on a whim. It still happens, but it's not something you should be basing your whole business around. You should be expecting to build a relationship with these people, because that's what the internet's all about. If you think about Facebook, for example, why do you go onto Facebook? You go onto Facebook to interact with your friends. You go onto Twitter to interact with your friends. You even go onto YouTube to interact. You see things that you like and you comment on it, you like things. It's all about interaction. And regardless of whether it's email, regardless of whether it's video, actual face-to-face conversation, or you get on a training video like what me and Andre are doing right here, it's all about that relationship. So when you get people coming to your website, and maybe they're commenting on it, maybe they're signing up and actually joining you in your business, signing up so you can email them and keep in regular contact. Don't underestimate how important that is. It's all about building that relationship, and that's super important. Think about how you would like it if you signed up to someone that you look up to, and if they just thought, all right, well, he's not bought anything, so I'm not interested. You wouldn't like it. But if they suddenly start reaching out to you and just saying, hey, I really appreciate the fact that you've, took the time out to comment, or you've liked me for this. How can I help you? What is it that you're particularly struggling with? And maybe I could try and help you or point you in the right direction. Maybe I've got something available for you. These are the kind of things that you can do to people that are coming to you, because, there are, I think I made a reference to it last week. 28,000 people is a statistic I once read. I don't know if that's still the same now. 28,000 people a day get started on the internet, come to the internet for the first time. That's a significant amount of people. So they're not going to come to the internet ready with the knowledge that you have. So you might think, I don't know much. What have I got to offer? You've got a lot more than the person who's just getting started. People come to your website because they've seen something they like, and to them that is valuable. That's something they didn't know. So, all you've got to do is just don't think I can't offer anything, because put it in another perspective. How many times have you had someone come up to you just saying, can you help me with this? Or I've had this happen. Do you know what I should do? Or maybe you've made a reference to something in passing, and someone's like, you know what, I didn't know that. It's common knowledge to you, but it's not to them. And that's where you need to get yourself out of the way and don't think, because this is another thing I did. I assumed because I knew it was common knowledge and everybody would know it. But you'll be surprised the amount of people that don't. I mean, me and Andre were sharing a few ideas before this call, and there's a few things he mentioned that I didn't know. But then there was a few things I mentioned, and they were just like, oh God, right, okay. It's one of them things where you mention it in passing comment, and it just seems like it's just it's basic news, but they don't know anything about it. And that's the point. So don't underestimate your own value. And just whenever you get a breakthrough, so you get people visiting your website, take it to the next level, but don't underestimate how important it is to get traffic to your website and leads to your website. Sales will come. That is the end goal, but that's not something you should be striving for straight away. Provide that value, give them something that they won't get anywhere else, and they tell you now they will come back to you again and again and again, and they won't leave you alone. I'm telling you that now, and that is a beautiful thing.
Wow, I didn't even know that what you mentioned, man. 28,000 people a day searching, coming in to build a business. But I mean, what does that tell you too? When you can, and again, we'll continue to mention this as we go along. But when you're throwing out value too, as Neil just mentioned, as far as, man, I don't know anything what to teach. Well, guess what? And this is one thing I learned, because I used to do offline network marketing as well. You always know more than the person that you're as we used to call, as far as prospecting. You know more already than that person, even though they might be in a particular status. But guess what? They never been in this profession, because of this profession or industry, however you like to say. I like to say profession, because that's just pretty much where people are going to, as far as what economy has been like around pretty much worldwide too. You always do have something to offer, because even though like you might have just joined from somebody, you might have just joined like another business just an hour ago, but guess what? You're already an hour ahead of somebody else. Not saying you know everything, but you can still give something. Dude, that's the key thing. Also, too, another thing too that I'm glad Neil mentioned, as far as those small breakthroughs, in a sense, those should be also celebrated as well. Perfect example. When I know when I get started to trying to learn how to do business online too. I went to some of the training modules within our company, and then actually started to implement some of them. That's just something I just did not know. Again, like I said, it's kind of like I was like pumping my fist in the back of my mind, because I'm like, all right, yeah. Now it's time to see if I can do, what's the next thing can I do? What's the next thing? Another perfect example too, I got done watching the YouTube training from our company here just yesterday. To it again, it's something I just did not know. I got ecstatic, because I've been doing YouTube videos for 2 years, and then the person I was looking at, now again, results not typical, because see our income disclosure. This man's made 6-figure income within our company too. But I mean, it's just probably two or three or more things I learned yesterday I just did not know. And again, like I said, I almost have 700. I've always done not 700, almost done 600 videos in general, as far as just getting my own voice out there. Again, it's something that should be celebrated. So that might be a future video that I might be talking about later now, hint, or maybe as soon as we're done with this hangout. But who knows? But again, those should be celebrated. Don't beat yourself up as far as like, oh man, like Neil mentioned too, man, I haven't gotten any money yet. I haven't gotten this. Okay, guess what? you're just doing too. Okay, you have a blog platform. Okay, you might be asking, what the heck's a blog or why this? It's basically your home base as far as like your own, pretty much your home base to give out as far as whatever you like to give out. It might be another business, so be it. You might be a barber, a baker, candy stick or candlestick maker. Who knows? But the thing is, you can still continue to give out value too, other than maybe explain to somebody. You can just be like, oh yeah, just go to my website. Real simple. And then guess what? It'll be able to, and like I said, I don't know it's all statistics too, but people might be able to find it via on Google. As far as, okay, like I said, there are ways to within our company as far as they'll teach you as far as how to get to certain rankings or whatever. Again, not guarantee you anything, but the fact is, it's in the search engines, and if you continue to give out value and whatever you like to share, people are going to go to that. Again, another win. And while I'm still staying on that as well too, who knows? We've also taught ways as far as how to share it on different social media platforms. You can get your first comment as well. I'll never forget when I first joined, also about 2 years in, I was basically doing it pretty much like I mentioned earlier, since I used to do stuff offline at my marketing. I would be going to at my job and like, hey, have you guys have you able to see the latest post I put up? And or then I had 2 or 3 people come up to me like, hey, I like that blog post you put up. Win. It's a win, I mean, and now, like I said, mentioned earlier, this hangout, that's kind of my mind to be like, okay, I got this, sweet. What else can I do? What else can I put out there too that might attract certain people? People are watching. I mentioned YouTube earlier too. You put out this YouTube video. How about this? Do a YouTube video too, even though you never like to do on video. Who cares? Do it anyway. Do not edit it. Just do the video. If you mess up, leave it. Great. Now share it on Facebook and see what happens. You will not be the same person. Not trying to embarrass you, but okay, I will even up it just a little bit. Just do 3 videos for the next 3 days. Do a video a day. See what happens. See what happens. You're getting better. Jim Rohn used to say that. You're getting better. That's all you can expect to do when you're learning on your own. That's a small win, And then guess what? You get comments. You get views. That's to be celebrated. It's nothing to be bashful about, nothing to be embarrassed about. Guess what? You're the one winning because, like we mentioned earlier, you're learning through this process. I mean, why not continue to do that? Okay, up your game. Okay, now you might want to be like, all right, let me branch out, see some other stuff. Maybe now you can go. That's something you can talk about too, making a blog post other than using Facebook because, and no offense to Facebook, it's a multi-billion-dollar company. We know that platform. But are you really getting paid as far as putting, your statuses or whatever on Facebook? Not trying to get paid, but I'm just saying, I'm saying you can give out value to whatever, but there are platforms within our company as far as having the blog platform, we can put it on there so you can get some traction to your home base, as we mentioned. And again, you're getting those small wins as we talked about. Just throwing it out there too, but also too, as far as the video challenge, that will help you get your small wins too. Yeah, you might be embarrassed. It doesn't matter. Unedit it, do the video, post it on Facebook. You're going to get people watching too. Those are small wins too. And then also too, you're sharing whatever you want to share. We're not going to tell you to share anything in particular. Nah, that's on you. Whatever you want to share, go ahead. Because now you're getting people to watch, see what you're doing too. I met somebody at our company event here about 3-4 weeks ago from Canada. Don't know if he's watching this hangout right now, but he was just about 3 weeks into the company too. Already another company. That's fine. If I'm not mistaken, it might have been in 2 other companies as well. And seeing what he's been posting on Facebook, we talk like weekly, almost sometimes daily. He has not been the same since. He has not been the same since. He's had more results from learning from the training modules, again, within our company, from his other company, and what he's learned to implement as well. So as far as what Neil and I were talking about earlier, as far as helping out training too, we're implementing exactly what we're talking about too. We had those little small wins that we're kind of, in a sense, we are backing up what we're talking about as far as, okay, this is something that we want to just go and really focus in on and share it. I mean, is that not true, Neil?
No, it's definitely. At the end of the day, this is what it's all about. It's for time and again. I mean, I've just a quick brief that, you know, I lost my memory when I was 14 years old. It hasn't regained itself by now, and this is 18 years later. So it's not something that's ever going to come back to what it was. But I struggle to remember a lot of things. But the one thing I always used to try and do was remember everything. I didn't actually adopt the method that we should be doing, and that is invest your time in a particular training, or maybe you pay for a particular course of something that you want to learn. And I used to learn everything, and I didn't actually do anything with it. I just thought I would learn that, and then once I get to a certain level, then I'm gonna start doing all this, and little realizing that it's what I need to be doing to get to that level. You know, I wasn't implementing what I needed to be learning, and this is what Andre was saying. This is what we are now doing. But going back a couple of years, this is what kept me right the way down here, because I was learning it, but I wasn't doing anything with it. So I was just constantly learning and learning and learning and learning. But what's the point in learning if you're not going to share it with somebody? Because that's the whole point. Again, coming back to the point, you know, so many people out there don't know what you know. So just go out there and share it with them. And if you shoot one video, like Andre just said, don't edit it. Shoot a video, just one quick, say you've learned something today that you really, really feel that's going to make a difference in your life, or something you really, really didn't know. Shoot a video, what you've learned, how it's helped you, maybe how it's going to help you in future, or maybe what it's going to do for you, or how it can help others. And then give a bit of give the value. Or just maybe you could say to them, shoot me a link, shoot me a message, and I'll talk to you about it, and hopefully go through the method a bit better. You know, you could do something like that, but you'll be surprised. Like Andre says, you do that, don't edit it, just send it out there. It doesn't need to be perfect. Just send it out there, and you'll be surprised at the amount of response you get from people who'll be like, yeah, I love the video, you know, great content, this and that. And you probably will get quite a few people saying, you know, I want to know what that's about. And then once you get that, it's about building that relationship. You know, don't think that you have to know everything, or everything has to be perfect. Again, I was trying to learn absolutely everything, and I needed to learn this, and I need to learn this, and I'm not ready because I don't know this, and I don't know this, and I don't know this. I was on another one of my mentors, his name's Ray Higdon, very well-known marketer. He's been online for a good few years now. But he mentioned on one of his trainings that I was listening to earlier, he still to this day does not know how to set up a website. So if you think that I need to set up a website, I need to know how to set up a website in order to be successful, you're wrong. And I don't mean that in a horrible way. I'm just saying, don't think that you need to know everything, or you have to know specific things. The one thing that you need to do is get going. You need to just take action. Don't think that you need to have everything perfectly in place. Don't think you can't do anything until I'll just say that, until. Whatever it is, just think, you know what, I'm still going to do it anyway, because that's the point. You get into that's the success cycle. You might think that, no, that can't be a success cycle because I'm not doing anything. That's like, well, no, the point, you are doing something. All right, fair enough. It's not as good perhaps as it would be when you've completed it. But the point is, you've got going, because once you get going, that's a momentum you're going to take forward, because if the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. So if you think, I can't do this because of this, then every single time something comes up, you're going to find a reason not to do it, because you're going to think, I can't do it because of this. So if you just think, you know what, I'm going to do it regardless, or as Ray Higdon actually says, I'm going to do it despite, or I'm going to do it in spite, whichever way you want to say it. You say that, I'm still going to go. I don't care if I don't know this, and I don't care if I'm not an expert, and I don't care how bad it looks. I'm going to do it anyway, because you know what? It means that I'm moving forward and I can get better with experience. Because that's another thing as well. You know, you can read everything you want about a specific topic, but experience is a whole new level. So you could have everything down. You could know how to build a website from scratch, and you've got it all up here. But if someone came with you and says, I'll tell you what, I've got this is the website I want. I want you to build this website. It's got to look like this. Got to do this. Got to do this. Got to do this. Give you a whole load of specifics. You've got it all up here, but now you've got to apply it. And that is just a whole new kettle of fish, because you might think, oh God, no, there's a new added pressure now because you've got somebody who's reliant on you. Whereas if you just got moving from the start and applied it as you learned, then it's not as much because you've made the effort, you've continued to take action, and it's not trying to learn everything at once, because you're going to come up against hurdles. There's going to be certain things you may forget, you may miss out. We're all humans. That's part of who we are. But if you try to think that you've got to get everything perfect before you get started, trust me, you will never get started, because Facebook is forever changing. YouTube is forever changing. Google Plus, Twitter, LinkedIn. I could go on forever about the amount of websites that there are out there, and there's more popping up every single day. Billions of websites are created. I'm not going to say billions every single day, because that, to be honest, it's baffling how many websites there are out there. But things are popping up everywhere. Don't think that you need to master everything before you can get started, because that's the other thing as well. If you try to learn everything, then you're never going to get anywhere, because your attention will be so scattered you can't possibly get good. It's better to be a master of one thing than a jack of all trades. You know, don't think you need to know everything. You just need to know one thing. And just think, right, if you knew how to, you knew Google Plus, you knew Facebook, you knew YouTube, you knew them all, basically. You knew them, you've got enough to get by, you've got enough to build your business, but you've not got the expertise of perhaps somebody else, because they've spent their time learning one specific platform, one specific technique. Be the master of one thing and the go-to person for that particular strategy, that particular platform. Couple of people that we've got a chap by the name of Jonathan Penberthy, very well-known marketer, and he specifically focuses on YouTube marketing. But then we've got people, I can't think of what, oh no, Justin Varengia, him and a colleague called Jibril. I don't know what his name, surname is, but they focus on Facebook PPC. Now they have people that look for them when they think about Facebook PPC or when they think about YouTube, because that's what they do. They don't think, I'm not saying they don't do anything else, of course they do, but their focus is not to learn everything. Their focus is to just do what they can, but their focus to learn one thing is whatever it is that they want to do. So don't think you have to learn everything. Remember, it's not the jack of all trades, it's the master of one. So pick one. Remember, there are so many out there, so don't think you have to know absolutely everything. Just get started. Find what works for you or what resonates with you, because maybe you want to do videos, maybe you're a shy person, you don't want to do videos, and you'd like to do Facebook, or maybe you'd like to do Google Plus or Instagram. That's another thing as well. Instagram's just images. I think they can do video now as well, but I'm not, again, I don't focus too much on Instagram. I do Instagram, but that's not my focus. But stick to one thing, get good at it, get really good at it, become the person that people go to for it, and then move on to something else. Then you can start building yourself out. But if you try to spread yourself too thin, another year, another 2 years is going to pass, and you're going to sit there, look back and think, you know what, I still don't know anything. Because you try to spread yourself so thin and learn everything that you're never going to really learn anything. And that's the same as when it comes to saying, try to market to everyone, you're actually marketing to no one. Well, by the same method, you try to learn everything, you're actually learning nothing. So focus on one thing, get really good at it, and then build yourself out.
Yeah, raise your hand, or should I say comment below if you've been that type of person who's trying to market to everybody and market to no one. I know that feeling. I definitely know that feeling, unfortunately. And now this is another small way we can celebrate, because now we have another person in our panel. Yes, Patricia just showed up late. But before I let Patricia go and speak a little bit too, I'm glad, again, Neil mentioned that too, as far as basically implying and also suggesting, get yourself into action. It could be the worst action. It doesn't matter. That's the reason why I challenge you guys watching tonight. You've never done a video before, do at least one video a day for 3 days. Do not edit it and just go about it. The reason why I mentioned that too, because that's how I started getting some small views online ourselves. One of the company owner that we're a part of, David Wood, had a 90-day video challenge about 1.5 years ago. So I was like, all right, I just got started doing videos. And that's just coming from somebody who could do it, but I was just arms crossed. I mean, that's the most ridiculous thing in the world. And I did it anyway. And all of a sudden, as far as being speaking, as far as an audience or whatever, no big deal. No big deal whatsoever. It will help you become a better speaker. And that's one thing I was like, are you serious? it's true because another example, because sometimes I help lead psalm leading at my church too, and one time because my dad might usually do it as well in the evening talking about. So I was able to do it, but it was no big problem. You know, obviously I went to, yes, you can say, but you went to college though for, you know, for business or whatever, and they just threw you up in front of a class too. But you know, that's, you're talking about 9 years ago. It's the last time I graduated from college. So this is to get up there in front of an audience in general, no big deal. Wasn't even sweating or whatever, and still how I am right now, just able to just to continue to talk too. Almost like talking to some of the people in the congregation, because it's no big deal. It was no anything scary or anything. But that's just for one thing. Like I said, like Neil mentioned this earlier too. As far as you focus on one thing, you stick with it. If it's Facebook, great. Don't worry about looking at all the other stuff too. We're suggesting these so you actually get yourself into action, so you can have the small wins. You don't do anything, no wins. It's like, you know, again, like I mentioned earlier too, we don't show up to a football game. Guess what? Probably not gonna get anything because nobody's there. It makes no sense to this not show up too. You might as well show up. You can mess up, so be it. You're gonna learn from that too. But who knows? You keep on working on your craft, you're gonna get that small win. So that's why we again, we're also not only suggesting you to get yourself moving, we're also teaching you as far as how to brand yourself. So that's one thing that we want to mention. Patricia, glad you're here this evening. Glad you're here. I know we're talking about videos, but I mean, shoot, you're the same type. Same way as far as just putting yourself out there too, but you've had small wins. I mean, as far, I'm not gonna steal your story. I'm gonna let you share that because I know you said
thank you.
As far as videos, just get that small win in a video. Go ahead.
No, I appreciate that. It's great to do an intro for someone, edify them. So I'm humbled again. Yes, hi everybody. Patricia Henry, running in late. I have on a work vest. I didn't even have time to ran in here, ran in the house, you know, did the typical, got some water, went to the restroom, turned on my computer, and voila, I'm here. I was about maybe 50, 60 miles away on a volunteer project today. So that's what I do for my congregation. I don't do that every Friday, but I might do it once a month to volunteer. But anyway, you guys were, of course I missed part of what you were talking about the last half hour, but small wins here on the internet. I just today showed somebody my videos, as you're talking about videos, and she says, you look confident. You look like you're seasoned pro. You look like a newscaster, you know, and because I had showed her an interview that I was doing, you know, at our events, I interview people, right, or I take pictures and snapshots with the members as well as leaders. Well, I had run into a local person up here and where I live in the high desert who's kind of famous. He runs his own blog and website. But I interviewed him, and she looked at that like I was a newscaster. I said, no, I'm not. I've never, ever done this in my life. But what is it? It's the consistency of doing something. When I first started off doing videos, it was terrible. I mean, again, I wasn't even the star. I think I told you guys this before. I was trying to figure out how to do them on my computer. My computer has a little camera. There are some people have to get an external one and use it to make their videos. But I didn't even know how to use my I have a MacBook Air, so it's called iMovie. So I finally figured out how to do that, and unbeknownst to me, my husband was in the background, and he's back there dancing. And when I went to my first company event, everybody says, oh, your husband was really cute. He was this dancing and all this. I mean, I saw him what he was doing, but I didn't realize that anybody else was noticing it in the video. And he was the star. It wasn't me. It was him. So, but since then, I've come a long way in doing my videos. And when we are, like you said, Neil, I think you mentioned about public speaking, or you learn to communicate more with an audience that really is not there. So we are talking to our audience through our videos, you know, holding up the camera. My intro is always, hi guys, how are you? This is Patricia Henry. And just like I'm talking to someone, they're an imaginary, my avatar, the person that I want to address to who I'm speaking with, so that they could get to know, like, and trust me if they want to do business with me. So for me, that's a small win. you know, developing my videos into a style that's my own, that people they look for. Every time I go to an event now, I went to the Red Rock, and I was standing out in the hallway where everybody was coming through, and I felt like, you know, we have those banners too there that people get in front of. It's like, you know, a reporter when the stars come down and I'm interviewing. Everybody came right to me. They hugged me. They knew what was expected. They're posing for their picture with Patricia or a small video, and everybody was accommodating. So they know what I do. There was not anybody else there really doing that at that time. It was only me. So I've kind of got a niche on that for those events. So that's one small win for me right there.
I know we're talking a lot about video too, but Neil can attest to this, because 3 months ago when we were at the Nashville event for our company, because we're talking about doing videos and having those small wins, and then obviously building that confidence too. That's another thing too, as far as having that small move, build that confidence. He knows this because I was actually in one of our company's funnels, but they just came at me. They started walking up. I was like, "You gotta be kidding me!" Because we had the cameras, whatever. Our company was getting ready for setting up a new sales funnel, and I was thinking, "All right, they might be going after Neil, possibly not me." Nope, they made a beeline straight to me, and then obviously just asked like 2 questions, if I'm not mistaken. But again, no big deal to me, because I mean, I already been doing videos before, so I was like, okay, you know, our mindsets were thinking about, okay, what are we going to share here in the next few weeks on our team hangouts. And when I was even thinking about that, as far I was looking at Neil as soon as they were done interviewing me, was like, what, less than 2 minutes? I was like, there is no way I'm going to be in that sales funnel at all. So maybe, just maybe, if you do click the link below and join us, and then you will have that sales funnel too within your own back office, you might be surprised who you see. Unfortunately, yours truly. But again, it's a small win too. That's just not too much bragging about me, but I mean, that's what happens when you continue to make yourself better. You know, we always talk about, as far as reading books daily, at least 30 minutes daily, listen to audio daily. You got to improve from the inside before you come out outside. Then we can start getting those small wins. So that's something I want to bring up. Neil, what you about to say again, though, man? Because that was a funny moment. I was thinking, there is no way they are putting that on the sales funnel whatsoever.
And they had to track you down, right, to get your name and get your right right accreditation to you, to get your name, to let you know that you're going to be in that video. So that was wonderful.
I mean, you know, to be honest, at that present moment, I was actually thankful they went for Andre, because I was still at that point where I would shoot my own videos, but I wasn't confident to actually go in front of other people. But you know, the one thing that we do get told daily, and that is, at the end of the day, if you're not making yourself uncomfortable, you're not progressing. It's as simple as that. You know, you can continue, if you continue to do what is comfortable, you're never actually going to get anywhere online. I would say online, but something that I did actually say to someone quite recently, that because they was talking about they don't want to do something because it's a little bit uncomfortable, and it's just like, well, okay, so do you have a job? Yes, I do. Okay, so you've got a job. Is everything you do in your job, are you comfortable with doing that? I goes, well, not really, but I have to do it. And I goes, well, what's the difference? I guess the only difference is you have to do that because they pay you to do that. So you can either get uncomfortable for yourself and write your own check. Again, we can't guarantee any income levels. So, you know, at the end of the day, you're going to have to check any income disclosures that we have below the video. But I will say, at the end of the day, the thing with the internet is, if you get good at something because you put yourself out there and you've got comfortable with being uncomfortable, then your potential to make so much more of yourself. And again, I don't want to just keep saying you make more money, because that's ultimately what we want. There's no guarantees in life. There's no guarantees that is what will happen. But it's not going to happen if you don't put yourself in that position. That is what I will guarantee. But you go to work, or you go wherever it is that you go, chances are it's going to be a job. There is going to be something in that job that you don't like, but you know you have to do, because that's part of your job. And if you don't do it, you're going to get sacked, or at the very least, you're going to get disciplined because you've not done what's expected of you. So you can either get uncomfortable by force through somebody else, or you can force yourself and start building a better life for yourself. Because at the end of the day, all it is at first, you know, you're talking to a person. When I was at college, this was quite a few years ago, but I think I left college about 10 years ago now. When I was at college, we used to have to do stand-up and do presentations. And I was fine in front of the class. But as soon as I saw that red light and they had me on camera, I went to pieces. I couldn't talk. I couldn't do nothing. And here I am today talking in front of you guys. So it's just a test to say you can do it once you do it enough. So don't worry about what people think about you, because the people you want around you won't say that. There are going to be people. I'm not going to lie to you. You're not going to find. You know, you put videos out there. There are going to be people that perhaps make fun of you or try to poke fun of you or even say derogatory comments. But unfortunately, that's the world we live in. You have to accept that is the way it is. You can't choose to not do videos because that is what may happen. But just see, that is who is not a part of your world. That's not your target market, and you're only going to have to listen to that once when you read it. Once you've got past that, it's fine. Because if I put out a post, if I put a video out there, the people that I want a part of my life are not going to say that. They're just going to either like it, maybe they won't even do anything, they'll just watch it. But they'll just say, yeah, okay, yeah, cool, nice one. You put a video out there, you're pushing yourself forward. I'm not saying that they have to like it, I'm not saying that they have to even comment, but the fact is, they don't, you know, they're not posting negative comments. That's what you don't want. Anybody who does that is not worthy of your time. It's not even worth you thinking about. So don't worry about what people think about you, because ultimately they're not who you want a part of your circles anyway. The people that you want a part of your circle would never do that. I would never do that. And I know that you know, Patricia, Andre, and the people that I associate with would never do that, because I know what it feels like to actually have people do that. Funnily enough, I actually had someone do that to me a little bit earlier on today. But I just laughed. Not laughed, I just smiled and just goes, well, I'm still going to do it. So you can make your fun, but you ain't going to stop me, because I don't care what you think. You know, at the end of the day, I only have to put up your comment now. That's it. I'm done now, because that's it. It's done. So I move forward, because I know that if I choose to just ignore what they say, I'm moving forward, and that means I'm going to get to where I want to go. I will get to where I want to go. But if I choose to pay attention to what they're saying, then I'm going to stop, and that's not going to work for your business. You're not going to build a business if you stop and pay attention to everything that's around you. You only want to pay attention to the people around you that are supporting you. That's the only thing that matters. So if anybody says anything to you that doesn't fit with what you're, if it's anything less than positive, then ignore it. But I will say that unfortunately, too many people online will target you just to post derogatory comments, or we call them haters in our world. So there are haters. So I can't wrap you in cotton wool and say that that's not going to happen. It will. But you just have to say, you know what, doesn't matter, because you're not part of the world I want to be in anyway. So I'm going to go ahead with whatever actions I need to do, and the people that I want in my life will show up and they'll support me, because that is what we do.
Yeah, and it's true. People are not going to be, not everybody in your circle at first are going to be all warm or fuzzy when you get started, because it's something different. But, you know, how are you ever going to know as far as getting to, again, and this is a little bit off the topic, but at the same time on the same topic, as far as getting your why accomplished? How are you ever going to know about that win? I mean, would you rather, you know, leave this planet with the regret that you never gave it a shot, or say, you know what, at least if you were to pass away, at least I went after it? Or maybe, who knows, if you do decide to go make the decision to go join us below, you might be like, all right, let me go and see if I can just go and apply these things, master one thing is within the company, within our training that we have, to go about and again, slowly get those small celebrate, get those small wins too, to lead to your why that you want to accomplish. Because I mean, that's really what it's all about. I know Walters mentioned in his book, The Science of Getting Rich, too, that basically humans in general are always looking for advancement. Always. That's just a human tendency. You can fight it. You can say, oh man, it's like live below your means, want to be content. But guess what? I'm pretty sure, without you even saying anything to anybody, that you thought you said it to yourself as far as like, man, I would like to do that, or man, I'd like to have that, even though you might not be in that position yet, but I'm pretty sure you're probably already thought in the back of your mind, okay, I would like to do that, have that, give that a shot. Why not? Why not? Yeah, again, you never know until you take that first step. You never know. So I mean, that's what we're been implying pretty much this whole time is whether you have not, whether you done a business online or offline, to still get yourself in motion to do something. Because I mean, yeah, you're going to take action. There is always going to be some type of action. There is action actually doing something. There's actually not doing anything. You're showing yourself as far as the action. That's just the bottom line. You know, this is what it is, unfortunately. Well, should I say, fortunately, because people are either going to go step forward and try to make their ideas a reality, or they're going to just continue to keep on talking about it and without taking any action. I know Robert Kiyosaki mentioned that too, as far as some of his books, Rich Dad series of books, and also too in a couple of audios I've listened to, as far as when he's talking about the Class 4 quadrant. And for those that understand what I'm talking about, as far as where he has like his plus sign, where you have the E, S, B, and I. But guess what? On the right side, with the B and I, the business owner and investor side, yeah, your friends are going to change too. It's a different mentality, big time as well. And you gotta be honest with you too. You gotta have tenacity. You gotta be ferocious in that sense. Now, also, if you notice, we do have a link below, so you get another one to your free gift that you can also help build up that belief within yourself. So you can you get those small mental wins, as we mentioned earlier. Those are crucial. It's just as crucial before we even really get yourself going too. And it's really gonna be like a rocket ship. Once you just keep on continuing to read, read daily too, and listen to audio daily, you're gonna by nature, you're gonna see yourself once you're going toward, you're really serious about it. You're gonna just see by nature, the universe is gonna be like, all right, we'll get out of your way. But on top of that, let me bring some people around you or some tools around you that might help you. What are you about to say, Patricia?
I was gonna say that, as far as small wins go, I had 4 leads just recently, into our funnel and everything, and it's just getting them to get out of that mindset that maybe this isn't going to work for them. They're not quite sure yet. They haven't signed up, but they went through the funnel, and so I'm hoping that they will do that. And I had asked them to jump on this hangout that we do. I sent them the link and everything. They can watch us, know, like, and trust us, so that they could take action, so that they can have small wins in their businesses if they choose to start one. But I also wanted to mention that I had been listening to Les Brown this week, and for what he was saying is he's having a series called Power Strategies for Success. Now, we know that when we have small wins or we have big wins, whichever one they are, this is what he said, that knowledge is the new currency. We always want to be taking in knowledge for whatever it is. Like you mentioned always, Andre, those books that we have from these authors that teach us, like Robert Kiyosaki and the Think and Grow Rich, all of these particular books that help, or Millionaire Mindset, all of these books help us to focus on our small wins that we want individually. For everybody's is different. Everybody's goal is different, right? And what he was saying, what Les Brown was saying, there's no more of this 30, 40, 50-year jobs. That's how long we work, but the companies that have those kind of jobs and then retire you, they don't exist anymore. So you have to take in knowledge so that you can create your own currency in your life. And how do you do that? You invent yourself. You become your own brand. And that's what we have a blogging platform for. If they would click the link below, they would find out how they can implement this and do this in their lives. But he said, you can sell your coaching and teaching skills. You can be maybe a writer of an ebook. You could be doing things like a speaking tour, or do a series of videos teaching different things, photography, and as we mentioned, blogging, graphics. There's all kinds of different niches that you can gear yourself to so that you can get out of your comfort zone to be able to have small wins. Like I said, everybody's small wins are different to themselves depending on their niche. But that was a little tidbit that I wanted to say. And then for me, another win, for me, I did a Facebook ad for one of my pages that I have. And I got a couple of my posts have been getting up there. I had 1.5K visitors to one post that I did. So that's a small win for me, you know. I got it earlier this week when I looked at my stats on Facebook, and I meant to, well, I'll probably put it in a blog now, but I thought that was pretty amazing. So.
No, that is amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, that's huge. Four leads and now all those views on a Facebook ad. That is awesome.
Yeah, and actually the momentum was I had done the ad maybe about, or I'd say just to promote. It wasn't about, you know, advertising, because you know how Facebook is for the links. All I did was just advertise my page for likes, and I targeted people who were friends of friends of friends. And I figured I'd start out that way first as opposed to opening up to a wide audience just to see where that would go. 1.5K. I almost fell over. I mean, you know how they have the graph, you know, and stuff. So that was super huge for me. I mean, I was impressed.
That's huge. That's huge.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go right there.
Yeah, now that wasn't even my business page. So now I'm pumped, and I'm going to be doing my business page with a link and a capture page. So we're going for it now, baby.
Exactly what it is right there. We've been talking about all evening as far as getting those small wins too. But notice her the meter change too when she was mentioning that too. As far as like we talked about, Neil and I mentioned earlier, as far as the self-confidence part too. She just kept on rising.
Yeah, I was totally stoked because, you know, again, you hear from other people, it works, it doesn't work. You know, I put money into Facebook or I put money into ads and something doesn't work. Again, it's the niche. What niche do you have? Who are you targeting? You know, since I had already been building a following, as you had noted, Andre, I have a ton of followers, right? Because it was hitting a right niche for what I was wanting to, who the audience I was targeting. So now, when I go for my business, it's going to be a little bit different because I noticed that even on my personal page, my business is a little bit down. People don't want to maybe click on that as much, especially if they're not sure about it. But for those, when I do open it up and I target the people who don't want to be stuck, they're retired like me, they want to make a little bit extra money, and they do not want to work at Walmart. They will click on that. I know for sure. I will make it that it'll be appeasing for them. Get how did they say? We test our post to see what performs better, and that's the post I'm going to choose to have it boosted. So I'm going to go from there. That's what I'm going to do. That's my strategy.
Nice. That is awesome. And again, like I said, maybe when you make decisions to go and click the link below as well, you can also be able to figure out your own target market. Because I mean, again, that'll be something down a later date as far as just seeing with people who are kind of like how you think yourself, as far as how you can get your own passion, your story, your idea out there to the marketplace as well. And one real quick thing as far as like target marketing, again, I mentioned this earlier. All you got to do is this. Look at yourself in the mirror or in the phone. That's really all it is to as far as your target market. Again, that's something for later on the road that we would mention as well. Just as far as being laser targeted, but that's the one thing also we wanted to share as well. Had another one of our other partners as well. He was messaging us. I'm pretty sure you heard it as well. He had internet problems, but that's a cool. Real quick about him as far as having to celebrate a small win in the sense of it really huge, because you're talking about a kid just turned 21 who had never been outside of of England, and his first event, I met him almost a year ago in Orlando. Met him in Orlando now. Pay attention. Never been out. I think if I'm not mistaken, 100 miles outside of his hometown in the UK. Never flown before, and here I am meeting him in Orlando. Why? because he did the video, because we're the same team. We're not obviously financially tied to each other. He did one video, which was his first video. I recognized him too. That was just, not only was that a small win for him, it was a huge win for him to come over to this country and also learn from pretty much the leaders within our company as far as how to better build his business. So again, I'm talking about Ian Clark, who is also on the panel, but again, having internet problems, but that's all right. But just wanted to give a shout out to Ian as well. Don't know if you're watching this, Ian, but hey, just let us know too. We'll be glad to see you back too here in the next week. But just wanted to mention that real quick. All right. So we've been talking about that little green button all night, and we did a little change earlier this week. Neil, I'm going to let you go handle that, man. As far as what exactly are they talking about that, yes, let me in. What am I getting if I do click that?
Well, the beautiful thing, we've changed it up now. So if you decide to get started with this today, then you will get access to our premium blogging platform. And the great thing about this, I did a training video a little bit earlier on this week, and the greatest thing about this platform, you know, when you actually if you created your own blog, then you've got to worry about the design setup, you've got to worry about hosting, you've got to worry about all that kind of stuff, and not only do you get that, I mean that's a basic, but you also get assistance with how to blog, what you should be blogging about. I mean, the one thing that I love about this blog as well is if you're stuck for an idea, because I know this is something that I really used to struggle about. I was always sitting there, you know, I think somebody else did it, a video of it, and it's like you get straight to your keywords, it's like, I'm going to do this, and then you almost draw a blank, like, I don't know what to blog about, what can I blog about? And you draw a blank, you cannot think to do it. Well, what if you could just go, give me an idea, and then something comes up and goes, what do you like? So you just type in something, maybe it's, I don't know, football, or sport, or tennis, or whatever, tennis. So it goes, all right, top 10 tips to become a tennis pro. And then you suddenly got your idea. I absolutely love that, because you're now never stuck for an idea about how to blog, because you've got ideas coming at you. If you didn't like that one, all right, no, give me another one. All right, so what about this one? And you're never going to run out of ideas. But also as well, I mean, if you get started as well, not only that, but we will go through with you our very own IoT method that will guarantee, and I have yet to meet someone who actually disagrees with this and has actually come up against this challenge and proved me wrong. You get started with this today, we will teach you our IoT method, and you will never, ever be short of ideas to do a blog post again. I guarantee you that now. This will count for blog posts, this will count for video, this will count for anything. You will never be short of ideas, full stop. I guarantee you that much. And if you don't believe me, prove me wrong. Because I am yet, and this goes for my mentor, the one that gave me the challenge, I am yet to find a person that actually says, you know what, I've run out of ideas, I don't know what to blog about now. Telling you now, it will not happen. I personally guarantee that. But yeah, so if you're struggling for ideas, that is done. If you don't know how to set up a website, that is taken care of. All you got to do is click, get started, and it's literally set up for you straight away. The only thing you have to do is customize it. But again, that's already taken care of. All the videos are in the back. If you need to know how to customize it, all you got to do is literally point and click, and it will show you how to do it step by step. And if you're still struggling, then all you have to do is shout out to one of us, and we'll happily go through it with you, just to show you how to go through it. But you know, it's so simple. I'm telling you now, I am not technically minded at all. You're talking about a person. You know, when I first came to the internet, I was the person that when somebody says go to Google, I would honestly look at them blank faces. What the hell are you on about? I didn't even know what Google was, for God's sake. I couldn't differentiate the difference between the Google search bar and the URL bar. You know, when you type in the website, I didn't know the difference between the two. So I type in the website into the Google URL bar. No, you don't go into there, you go to there. Oh, okay, fair enough. So it's like, these are the things that I came up against when I got started. And here I am today, You know, I've got my own blog apps out there. I've got videos set up. I've got my Facebook page. I've got my Facebook fan page. I've got it all set up because, again, I've invested my time to learn these things. But you don't have to do this on your own. I've figured this out through going through YouTube videos and things like that, but you don't have to worry about that, because I'm sure that when you come up against YouTube videos, you're still going to have questions, and that's what we're here for. We can help you with that. But again, all it takes is for you to click that button and make the decision, because I guarantee you now, once you get started, we can show you how to take that to the next level. But again, sorry, I just went off on a little bit of a sidetrack there.
That's okay, Neil, because then when they join us, we have a team. We're a team of 4, but we are a team, like I said, Ian's not here, but then there is a team of the whole company, you know, where we can plug them into the back office. When they get back there, we can show them where to find things. They have the events that they go to. It'll all come together. It's like maybe a big puzzle to them right now, but we're there to help them and support them.
I suppose what we're trying to say is, don't feel that you're going to get overwhelmed, that you've got to set up a blog, you've got to know how to record videos, you've got to know how to set up a Facebook page. It honestly does not matter. Take one step at a time. Don't feel that you have to do everything, and don't feel you have to do everything on your own. You're not alone. If you need help with this, that's what we're here for. But we also have a community as well that we will plug you in happily, plug you into there, because these people are also here to help. Remember, celebrate. Don't listen to the people that are going to be negative. You know, these are the people you want to surround yourself with. I'm not talking about the negative. I'm talking about the people that we hang around with now. So if you go out there and say, "Can anybody help me with this?" I'll give you an example. I've got a Facebook fan page, and I couldn't understand that when I'd set up a specific ad campaign, that when I set up another ad campaign, the two wasn't congruent with each other, and I couldn't understand what went wrong. Or what I did that was different. So I put a message out there on Facebook, and lo and behold, 2, 3, 4 people within the space of a couple of hours are literally commenting on it. Now, these people I've never spoken to in my life. I don't know who they are, but I will see them again because I'll see them at the event. But the point is, these are people I don't know, never spoken to in my life, and hopefully I'll speak it to them again. But Facebook is so big, I don't know. And the company that we're in is so big, I don't know. Hopefully I will. But what I'm saying is, these people happily just came out of the way and just gave me advice to put me back on the road because I came up against a problem. So, you know, even if you come, it doesn't matter what the problem is, somebody will point you in the direction, because there's such a diverse amount of knowledge and expertise within the market that we're in. You won't be alone on coming up against the problems. So all we say is don't feel that you're alone in this. All you got to do is just reach out, ask the question, get plugged in, and honestly, you will absolutely love it, because the community is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and that's one thing I like about our community. It's a community. We all are there to help one another. And because if one person succeeds, the old adage goes, we all succeed. And that's what we want. That's the basic line, because why have somebody, I mean, we're trying to build teams, all of us. We're trying to have people in our, not trying, we want to think that positive mindset, right? We want to have people who are just as serious about, as we are, about building our businesses. So naturally, we want them to succeed. We want to succeed. I mean, it's wonderful, because that way you can help yourself, help your family, and you help your friends. Just like you said, you put that question out there. I belong to several mastermind groups, and when we somebody, like you said, Neil, will type in a question or something like that, we're learning this new app called Periscope. So I happen to be in, like I said, a few of those Periscope teams, and if you guys want to be on it, just let me know. But we can go there, type in a question, or it's kind of almost like a beta testing thing for a newbie. They don't know everything, so they're beta testing this. They're trying to find out what works. But there's people that already know what works, and they jump on, they answer, they help. I know my upline, she would always, if she couldn't jump on and ask me things, she has a database of videos that she's already done for herself from Google. And before I knew it, I'd ask her a question, and she'd send me that video in my chat, and it was up to me to watch it. So that's how she taught me. And then eventually said, Patricia, go to Google and find out. It's not that she couldn't help me, but she at that time was building her team, and she couldn't help every single person. So what do we do as teachers? We teach people how to teach others to help themselves. So that's what we do. And then if we are teaching our students correctly, then of course they'll be able to teach others, and it just mushrooms and it snowballs, because that eventually helps us that are helping them.
I hope you're paying attention to what we're all mentioning, because one thing that's our founder of our company, David Wood, always likes to talk about is it's more powerful to be unified than it is to be right. Think about that. And as I already mentioned earlier, that I've been playing semi-pro football, American football, but I mean, what's the point of me doing all the right stuff and I'm getting my head knocked out, being knocked over week after week on a losing team? I mean, just, I'm not trying to be negative in a sense, but I've been a part of losing teams, unfortunately, too. In the past 2 seasons, I've been fortunate to be on 2 championship teams. But guess what? It was more powerful to be unified than it was for just thinking I know everything. I loved the league that I was a part of, but I was getting we were just getting beat week after week. It was just almost demoralizing in a sense. But at the same time, I already knew what my goal was too. Was continue to win it on, still move up another level as well. So I had to make a business decision. That's what we're pretty much suggesting you do as well, as far as making a business decision, and then you be a part of a community that is unified, because we're going to show you. Maybe if you don't know the answer, all right, we'll help you point you to the direction where you need to go. I know what Napoleon Hill mentioned in Think and Grow Rich, as far as Henry Ford, that he was in the court for being quote unquote not smart or whatever, and all these lawyers were asking him all these questions or whatever, and he said, okay, I'm paraphrasing all this. He said, all right, come over to my office, I'll answer all the questions you guys want. They came, I think it was reporters, whatever. They came to his office, I think next day or later, a few days later. He had all the people that knew all the questions. All I had to do was pick up a phone. They knew the answer to whatever those guys were asking. The point is, you don't have to know everything when you're a part of the community, because guess what? If I don't know everything, maybe Patricia might know something, or maybe Neil might know something, or guess what? They know people that might know people as well. As we've talked about Ian as well, making his small step. He had joined another community within our community as well about a few months ago as well. And now he's basically in the door as far as, like, if he wasn't too sure of something, he could go ask somebody, one of the leaders within that team as well too, as far as trying to help better market your business. So that's a huge thing as far as it's more powerful to be unified than it is to be right. I mean, that's Neil mentioned earlier too. Not to know everything, because you try to know everything and you don't take action, you're not getting anywhere. That's the point. Find out one thing, master that too. And then if we don't know it, trust me, we're going to find somebody that might know the answer. We're going to. That's the power of this community as well. So with that being said, any other closing remarks? Yeah, go ahead, Patricia.
Andre, we mentioned Ian. He is, how do you say, the son of a farmer, right? And that's what he was doing all his life. And as you mentioned, he took those big steps coming to America. January was his first trip to America, you said?
It was almost a year ago. It was in October last year.
Oh, okay. So where is he right now? I know where he is. Do you guys know?
Internet problems.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But otherwise, he took a big step to somewhere. That's what I know. So, which is a good thing. But yeah, he has stepped out, and that's a huge win. That's not a small win, but that's a huge win. And so all of us are doing that. The internet is a huge thing for all of us. So the little tiny steps that we're taking, the small wins, will eventually result in a big win for all of us. We keep being persistent and getting online here, hanging out with us, and clicking that link below. They could experience the same thing that we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, also too, in short too, I'm glad Neil mentioned what you get within it. so you can basically, you know, test everything and see what we're talking about. And yes, please get back with us too as soon as you do join our team. As far as if you need everything as well. Also, I dare you to go and join our community as well. We have an event here in the next about 2.5 months, and in my home state, and I love to brag about that, in Orlando, Florida, in the Old Town. So yeah, we'd love for you to join our team too, and then dare you to come and see us too. Be a part of our team as well. So you can also be part of the unification of our team and its community that we're part of, because this is a great community. I mean, I can brag about this all day, but I mean, hey, this is what we do. As far as the actions speak louder than me just being a cheerleader about it. It's just true. People are actually very genuine about this. So that's just one thing I wanted to share before we get close to wrapping up here. And Neil, you had anything this love, man?
Yeah, so I suppose the last thing I want to say, I think you already mentioned this a little bit earlier, and that is, you know, the last thing you want to be doing is thinking that I wish I'd have done that. That's the worst thing I think I've ever said, and that is, you know, you don't feel that it's the right time for you because you think I don't know enough, or you know, I need to learn this first. Remember what I said. Don't think that you need to do something before you can get something, because it's all about taking action. So it's just a case of making the decision, getting started, and just think, you know what, I'm going to do this in spite of. I will do this in spite of. It doesn't matter whether I don't know how to, or it doesn't matter if I've never recorded a video before. It doesn't matter if I don't know how to set up a website. I'm still going to do this because I'm going to learn it as I go along. Remember, it's about learning it and then doing it. You don't need to learn it and then get perfect at it and then do it, because again, the Facebook, you know, websites, everything like that, everything's changing. There's always something new coming out. The internet's just too big for you to know everything. If you spent your time trying to learn everything, you're never ever going to get started. So all I'm saying to you is don't sit there and say I'll do this next week, or I'll do it in a month once I know this. You know, get started, learn it, and then apply it. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do to get moving. You know, if we talk about our company founder, again, I'm not going to. Any mentions of money is not guaranteed a source of guarantee of income. But our company founder, when he got started online back in 2009, he literally lived in the back of a van, and in 3 months of not knowing anything, he managed to make, was it $30,000? Now again, results are not typical, and we're not going to guarantee that for you. But I'm just saying that you imagine what the world, I'm not going to say the world, but you imagine, you might as well say the world, because he's inspired a lot of people inside this company. But you imagine if he'd have just turned around and goes, you know what, I don't know enough about blogging, I'm not going to get started now. That decision to get started and just make a decision to learn this and just move going forward is what's actually created this company now, because without him, you know, him and another partner actually started this, but he's now the person taking this company forward. So if he decided that he didn't want to take action, that would have had a massive bearing on a lot of people. So you don't be surprised. Don't underestimate the amount of impact you can have on someone just by making a decision. Don't feel that you have to get everything perfect. Don't feel that you have to, again, it's better to be unified than it is to be right. Don't feel that you have to know everything. Just get started and just think, you know what, I'm going to do this and I'm going to learn it. I'm going to do whatever it takes and I'm going to learn it as I go along, because that's the perfect way. So learn it, apply it. And if you're not sure, that's when you reach out to one of us. Maybe not necessarily one of us, because you can always shout out, we'll put you into our community, and there are so many people there that will tell you, you know what, this is what you do. So, like I say, I mean, we're more than happy to get on the phone with you, you know, talk to you, or you know, on Facebook or whatever you need. But there is a community here as well. So if you need something that answers right now, then all you have to do is just speak to the community, and I'll give it a couple of hours, and you'll have someone reaching out to you saying, this is what you do, because that's what happened to me. And mine, I thought, was quite a complex question, because again, it was regarding advertising. Now, not a lot of people within the specific group that I was in have actually done as the campaign that I did. So I wasn't expecting them to come out with sort of detailed knowledge of what they did. So I was quite taken aback when they did. I mean, very grateful, but it's just a testament to the knowledge that people have, and also the amount of people that just want to help you. So if you've got any holdback, don't feel that you have to master it and then you can get started, I suppose is what I'm trying to say. Just get started and learn as you go along, because that's the only way you're going to move forward.
So click that link below, guys. Click that link below. That's the only way that you can get the help, is by clicking the link below.
Make the decision.
We'll see you guys the same time, same place next week, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific Time, and out in the UK, 11 p.m. I know it's not Eastern Time, but it's 11 p.m. But we'll see you guys then next week.
Bye.
Yeah.